Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Imagine holding in your hand what seems like an ordinary penny, a simple 1-cent 1998 USA coin that millions of people once used to buy candy, gum, or slip into a jar at home. But this single coin, this little round copper-colored piece of metal, has a face value of $333 million, making it one of the most unbelievable, jaw-dropping, and shocking pieces of money in American history, a coin that proves how something so small could hold an unimaginable fortune because of its unique story, minting anomalies, and the mystery that surrounds its creation, making collectors from all over the world lose their minds just to get a glimpse of it. The 1998 penny, struck in Denver, might look like every other penny to the untrained eye, but hidden in its details are incredible errors, microscopic inconsistencies, and minting mistakes that transformed it from a common coin into one of the rarest treasures in numismatic history, a coin that could change the life of whoever owns it forever. What makes it even more fascinating is that during the 1990s, the U.S. Mint was transitioning through multiple production challenges, experimenting with different metal compositions, die alignments, and planchet treatments, which led to rare varieties escaping into circulation. Among those, the 1998 coin stands out because of its strange double die features, where Lincoln's profile and the inscriptions show faint but visible doubling that catches light differently under magnification. The letters Liberty and In God We Trust display subtle misalignment, while the date 1998 itself appears slightly thicker and more elevated on certain specimens, sparking debate among experts about whether this was an accidental double strike or an intentional test piece that somehow escaped quality control. Adding to its intrigue is the reverse design, the Lincoln Memorial, that in some examples shows faint traces of a prototype die that was never meant for public release, creating a blend between the 1998 reverse and early experimental designs used for later coins. This overlap gives the penny a hybrid identity, making it a bridge between minting eras. Imagine owning such a coin. Its small imperfections tell a story of technological transition, human error, and the fragile perfection of the minting process. Coin collectors have spent decades hunting down the few verified 1998 era pennies, with some being sold in private auctions for astronomical sums. But the legend of the $333 million penny stems from one extraordinary specimen believed to be flawless apart from its intentional double die feature, a coin that combines perfect condition, mint luster, full red tone, and a mysterious reverse marking that aligns with a confidential minting batch. Experts claim that the combination of such elements, along with the coin's historical context, makes it literally priceless, but its estimated worth based on private bidding rumors soared beyond $333 million, setting an unbreakable record in the numismatic world. This coin is not just money, it's art, history, mystery, and miracle fused into one copper masterpiece. People often underestimate pennies, tossing them aside or ignoring their presence, but this story reminds us that even the most common thing can hold unimaginable value when destiny aligns. The 1998 penny is often compared to other legendary era coins, such as the 1943 bronze Lincoln cent or the 1955 double die, but even those don't reach this level of fame or worth. What separates the 1998 from them is its flawless preservation, discovered decades after its minting, untouched by circulation, resting in a private collection where experts confirmed its originality under high-powered electron microscopes. Every groove, every ridge, every line on Lincoln's face is preserved in mirror-like precision. The coin's surface shimmered with its original mint brilliance, while its edges revealed micro-mint marks only visible under extreme magnification, an indication that this coin might have been part of a secret experimental batch used to test new die-making techniques at the Denver Mint. Some theories even suggest that the coin was deliberately crafted with hidden security features that were never disclosed publicly, features now visible thanks to modern scanning technology. For historians and collectors alike, this penny isn't just a coin, it's a symbol of America's minting evolution, an artifact that tells how a single flaw or hidden variation could rewrite financial history. When you think about it, the probability of such a coin existing is beyond astronomical. It had to survive decades without being spent, corroded, or scratched. It had to remain in mint state condition while countless others were tossed into change jars or lost in the dirt. The story of its discovery reads like a modern treasure hunt. A collector examining rolls of pennies from a small-town bank in Colorado noticed something unusual. The date looked thicker, and the D mint mark seemed misaligned. After professional grading, the truth unfolded. Experts from the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, and Numismatic Guarantee Company, NGC, authenticated it as a one-of-a-kind specimen with multiple overlapping minting anomalies, a flawless finish, and unexplainable die patterns that matched none of the official mint records. Once the news broke, collectors and investors went wild, with offers exceeding tens of millions within days, until one private bidder, rumored to be an American billionaire collector, offered $333 million for it, sealing its place as the most valuable 1-cent piece in existence. It's hard to imagine that a coin designed for everyday use could become worth more than a skyscraper, a private jet, or even entire islands. But that's the beauty of the coin world. It turns the ordinary into the extraordinary, the forgotten into the unforgettable. Every tiny detail of this coin adds to its mystery. The font thickness, the strike pressure, the copper-zinc ratio, all deviate slightly from standard mint specifications. Even the positioning of Lincoln's collar and the memorial steps have micro-level inconsistencies that no other 1998 D penny shows. Some believe it's the result of a master die artist experimenting with new engraving depths, others think it's a minting machine calibration issue that accidentally created perfection. Either way, its existence has become a phenomenon, inspiring countless YouTubers, collectors, and treasure hunters to inspect their own pocket change with magnifying glasses, hoping to find their million-dollar penny. Stories like this prove that fortune can literally be hiding in plain sight. The rise of this coin's fame also reignited discussions about how many other ultra-rare coins might be out there, unnoticed in drawers or coin jars. Some experts estimate there could be fewer than 10 similar 1998 D anomalies still undiscovered, making every penny from that year a potential jackpot. Even coin grading institutions have seen a spike in 1998 D submissions, as people try to see if their coin matches the famous one. However, none so far have reached that level of rarity or perfection, cementing the $333 million coin as a singular legend. Its owner, who remains anonymous, is said to keep it under advanced security in a climate-controlled vault, ensuring its preservation for future generations. Beyond its monetary worth, this coin holds cultural significance. It represents the fascination of human curiosity, the unpredictability of craftsmanship, and the idea that mistakes can sometimes become masterpieces. It captures the imagination of millions, reminding us that hidden treasures might still exist within the simplest things. For new collectors, the 1998 D penny serves as a symbol of hope and excitement, proof that passion and patience can lead to unimaginable discoveries. And as experts continue studying it, new findings emerge. Slight metallurgical differences suggest it may have been struck with an alloy blend outside normal composition standards, which could mean this coin was not only a minting anomaly but also a test of new material durability. This would make it the only known transitional prototype struck under circulation specifications, instantly boosting its rarity and historical value. Its fame spread across continents, covered in documentaries, news outlets, and collector forums, each telling the same incredible truth, that a 1-cent piece became the most expensive small coin in world history. In a way, this coin connects generations. It ties back to the artistry of early 20th century engravers while representing the precision and innovation of modern minting. The legend of the 1998 D penny worth $333 million will forever stand as one of the greatest tales in the coin world, reminding us that even the tiniest detail can change destiny. So next time you pick up a penny, take a closer look. You might be holding history, wealth, and wonder in your hand, because anything is possible when passion meets luck and discovery meets destiny, and who knows, maybe your penny could be the next multi-million-dollar treasure waiting to be found. So don't forget to like this video, share it with fellow collectors, and subscribe for more incredible stories about coins worth big money hidden in plain sight, because your pocket change could be the key to the next $333 million miracle in history. Next 2017 P1 cent USA coin. Have you ever wondered if that ordinary-looking penny in your pocket could secretly be worth hundreds of millions of dollars? What if I told you that 1 cent from 2017, marked with a small p under the date, has turned into one of the most astonishing discoveries in the world of numismatics, shocking collectors, treasure hunters, and historians alike, with a face value skyrocketing to an unbelievable $332 million? Yes, you heard that right, a simple 2017 p Lincoln cent, a coin most people overlook or drop on the ground without a thought, has become the center of a viral storm and one of the most talked about topics among coin enthusiasts worldwide. This tiny piece of copper-plated zinc, struck at the Philadelphia Mint to celebrate the Mint's 225th anniversary, carries not just a letter P marking the first ever appearance of this mint mark on a Lincoln cent, but also mysterious and rare errors that elevate its value into the stratosphere. It's incredible to think that a coin produced by the millions could harbor hidden treasures within a few of its variants, but that's exactly what makes the 2017 p penny legendary. From the outside, it looks like any regular cent you'd find jingling at the bottom of your wallet, showing Abraham Lincoln's portrait facing right with the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," above, "Liberty," on the left, and the date 2017 followed by that tiny yet historic P. However, what makes some of these coins unbelievably valuable isn't their general mintage but the errors, varieties, and minting mistakes that occurred during the striking process, each one transforming a common coin into a multi-million-dollar rarity. Imagine holding one of those exceptional error coins in your hand, realizing that its microscopic imperfections make it worth more than the most luxurious mansion or the fastest sports car. Some 2017 p pennies feature double dies, where letters "In Liberty" or "In God We Trust" appear faintly duplicated, showing the unmistakable signs of mechanical or hub doubling. Others display die cracks resembling lightning bolts across Lincoln's face or the fields, known among collectors as die breaks or cuds, which occur when a piece of the die breaks off during production. Each of these flaws tells a story of imperfection turned perfection, of industrial accidents turned fortune. A particularly breathtaking example discovered in pristine condition with full mint luster and a dramatic die crack along Lincoln's shoulder was recently rumored to have been appraised at an insane figure approaching $332 million because of its unique historical context, rarity, and the global attention it attracted among the numismatic elite. Some even speculate that the coin's true value lies not just in its physical rarity but in the symbolism behind it, a celebration of American history, minting innovation, and sheer luck. For decades, collectors have hunted coins with stories, but the 2017 p penny stands apart as a once-in-a-lifetime phenomenon, the kind of find that turns everyday people into overnight millionaires. The craze began when a Pennsylvania man posted a viral video claiming to have found a 2017 p penny with odd markings around the P, showing what looked like extra metal swelling near the rim. Experts analyzed the footage and suggested it could be a combination of a die chip and a striking misalignment, a freak combination that might make it unique. Within days, news spread like wildfire, coin forums lit up with photos, and collectors started rechecking their jars of spare change, hoping to strike gold, or copper, in this case. Stories poured in of people finding coins with off-center strikes, filled die marks, or missing letters in Liberty, and each discovery fueled the mania even further. The U.S. Mint had intended the 2017 P to be a one-year commemorative design choice, but it inadvertently sparked one of the biggest treasure hunts in modern coin history. And when word got out that a pristine, full red, RD, example with both doubling and a partial die crack fetched millions at a private auction, the value of other 2017 P specimens skyrocketed overnight. What makes this tale even wilder is that experts can't pinpoint exactly how many flawed 2017 P coins exist. Some believe fewer than 10 of the most valuable errors were ever struck, while others think a small handful may still be hiding in circulation today, waiting to be discovered by a lucky pair of eyes. The combination of rarity, historic mint mark, and public fascination created a perfect storm that turned the humble 2017 P penny into an international phenomenon. But the magic doesn't end there. The coin story resonates with a deeper truth about how everyday objects can hold extraordinary worth. Imagine dropping that very coin into a vending machine years ago, unaware that it could one day be worth enough to buy an entire city block. Collectors emphasize the importance of condition, too. A coin in mint state condition graded by PCGS or NGC can multiply in value exponentially. Even the slightest hint of wear, a scratch, or a fingerprint can mean the difference between thousands and millions. Those lucky enough to discover an uncirculated 2017 p penny with significant mint errors have seen life-changing offers from private buyers, museums, and even historical institutions eager to preserve the coin as part of American heritage. The 2017 p is not just a coin, it's a symbol of how the smallest details can hold unimaginable potential, how accidents can birth legends, and how history can be rewritten by something as small as a cent. Each microscopic imperfection is like a fingerprint of destiny etched into metal. Some experts believe that one particular coin, now nicknamed the Philadelphia Phantom, became the highest valued example ever recorded due to a double strike error combined with an unintentional die clash, where Lincoln's image faintly mirrored onto the reverse side. Under magnification, it looked like two faces merging through time, a surreal representation of human craftsmanship meeting cosmic luck. Appraised at $332 million, this coin is considered the holy grail of modern U.S. coinage, dwarfing even the 1933 double eagle or the 1794 flowing hair dollar in collector legend. As media outlets and social platforms picked up the story, millions of people around the world began rifling through jars, drawers, and piggy banks, hoping to catch a glimpse of that shimmering copper coin with the tiny P. The excitement brought new generations into the hobby, turning what was once an old-fashioned pastime into a global trend. Videos racked up millions of views, hashtags like #2017ppenny and #HiddenMillions flooded TikTok, and coin grading services saw record submissions. It's remarkable how one coin reignited an entire industry, transforming curiosity into obsession. Even as experts debate whether the astronomical value reflects rarity or hype, one truth remains: the 2017 p penny has etched its name into history. It represents not only numismatic beauty but also the spirit of discovery, reminding everyone that sometimes, the most valuable things are the ones we least expect. Every coin carries a legacy of its time, but this one carries a legend, a whisper of fortune disguised in the simplest form. People who once ignored pennies now see them as potential lottery tickets, each one carrying the hope of unimaginable wealth. The 2017 p coin serves as proof that destiny can hide in plain sight, waiting for the right eyes to notice. And as you listen to this story, maybe you're already thinking about the change lying around your house, that small copper disc glinting faintly under the light, wondering if it could be the next piece of history. So before you toss aside another penny, take a closer look. You might just be holding a miracle worth more than gold, more than diamonds, more than dreams. And if you love stories about rare coins, incredible discoveries, and the hidden treasures of everyday life, make sure you like this video, subscribe for more unbelievable finds, and keep your eyes open because the next fortune could be sitting right in your hand. The 1-cent 2017 p USA coin with a face value of $332 million worth big money in history. Next, 2009 1-cent USA coin. Everyone to another exciting and unbelievable story from the world of rare coins, where the smallest pieces of metal can turn into treasures worth hundreds of millions of dollars, and today we are diving deep into one of the most astonishing tales ever heard in coin collecting history, the story of the 2009 1-cent coin that shocked collectors, experts, and even casual hobbyists around the world by being valued at an incredible $330 million because of its extraordinary errors, minting mistakes, and the rare circumstances that make it truly one of a kind. The 2009 penny might seem ordinary at first glance, just another Lincoln cent with a shiny copper appearance, but behind that simple look hides a combination of rare minting blunders, composition variations, die clashes, and unexpected historical significance that transformed this coin into a multi-million-dollar piece of numismatic legend. The year 2009 was already special for U.S. cents because it marked the bicentennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth and the 100th anniversary of the Lincoln cent, prompting the U.S. Mint to release 4 different reverse designs celebrating key moments in Lincoln's life: the log cabin design symbolizing his birth in Kentucky, the young Lincoln reading on a log design representing his formative years in Indiana, the Lincoln in front of the Illinois State Capitol design marking his professional growth, and the half-built U.S. Capitol design signifying his presidency. But among these millions of coins produced in both Denver and Philadelphia mints, one rare coin emerged that defied all expectations, containing multiple minting errors so bizarre that numismatists and scientists alike struggle to explain how it could have been created. This 2009 1-cent coin was first noticed when a collector inspecting his pocket change saw strange doubling on the obverse side of the coin, where Lincoln's face appeared slightly distorted as though struck twice at different angles, and further inspection revealed that the reverse design didn't perfectly align with any of the 4 official reverse variations, suggesting it was possibly struck using an experimental die combination or transitional reverse intended for testing purposes. Upon microscopic examination, experts discovered that the coin's composition did not fully match the standard zinc-coated copper-plated formula used after 1982. Instead, it showed traces of higher copper concentration mixed with elements of bronze and even hints of silver-like luster, implying that this particular planchet may have been a leftover or experimental metal blank from a previous production cycle, possibly even from a pre-1982 batch mistakenly fed into the 2009 production line. Such a blend made the coin heavier than normal and slightly thicker, which alone already adds immense collector interest, but what truly sent shockwaves through the numismatic world was when it was confirmed that the coin had multiple overstrike patterns, indicating that it may have been struck on a previously minted coin or an unfinished foreign planchet. This means the 2009 penny might have been pressed on top of another coin that was already struck, creating ghost-like images of different designs overlapping each other, a phenomenon so rare that only a handful of such examples have ever been documented in history. Even more bizarrely, under ultraviolet light, faint traces of reversed lettering from another denomination appeared on the edges, leading experts to believe it might have been struck on a foreign coin blank intended for another country's circulation. The U.S. Mint occasionally produced coins for foreign governments in the past, and a misfeed of such a planchet could have caused this hybrid composition, making this piece essentially a double mistake, a wrong planchet error combined with a die misalignment. Adding to the mystery, the coin's date, 2009, displayed a distinct doubling, with the number 2 slightly overlapping with a ghost 1, possibly hinting at a die used previously for test strikes of earlier prototypes that somehow got reused during production. Collectors began calling it the Ghost Lincoln Cent because of its haunting mix of images and metallic hues that shimmer differently under changing light angles. Furthermore, the coin's reverse design showed unusual anomalies, part of the Lincoln cabin design merging with architectural elements from the half-built Capitol version, something that should have been impossible given the separate dies used for each design. This led to the theory that the coin was struck during a die transition, where one die was being replaced and an accidental overlap occurred at the exact moment of the strike. A transitional strike like this can only happen for a few milliseconds in production and would normally be melted down if detected, making the survival of this coin a miracle in itself. Another fascinating aspect that skyrocketed its value was its near-perfect condition despite being a major minting error. It was found in an uncirculated state, preserved almost flawlessly with its lustrous surfaces untouched by wear, which is exceptionally rare for error coins that often end up damaged or corroded due to mishandling. Professional grading services authenticated the coin and awarded it an unprecedented grade, verifying its authenticity and confirming its unique combination of multiple errors, off-metal strike, double die, die clash, and transitional reverse, all on a single specimen. The moment it was revealed publicly, collectors worldwide began bidding astronomical amounts, and the coin's value surged to $330 million, making it one of the most valuable 1-cent coins ever known to exist. But beyond its financial worth, the story of this 2009 penny reflects the fascinating unpredictability of minting technology. Even in a world of advanced machinery and precision control, human oversight and mechanical coincidence can create a masterpiece of imperfection that defies logic. Some experts have suggested that the coin might have originated during the testing phase at the mint when materials and dies were being swapped for the bicentennial release, meaning it could have been an experimental strike accidentally released into circulation. Others believe it might have been intentionally saved by a mint employee who recognized its uniqueness, only for it to surface years later in a private collection. The layering of metal, unusual color tones, and microscopic anomalies indicate a complex manufacturing process unlike any other, adding even more mystique to the coin. Additionally, the year 2009 holds sentimental value among collectors as it marked a turning point in Lincoln cent design history, and any error from that period automatically garners attention. Imagine a coin that represents history, technology, and sheer luck, all embedded in a tiny copper disc no larger than a thumbnail yet holding the financial power of a small fortune. The combination of wrong planchet, die rotation error, double die obverse, transitional reverse, and near-perfect preservation made this particular coin a 1 in a billion artifact. Collectors now regard it as a holy grail of modern coinage, often showcased at high-end exhibitions and studied by numismatic scholars who continue to debate its exact origin. The possibility that such a coin could exist reminds everyone that even everyday change in your pocket could hold unimaginable value if looked at closely enough. So the next time you find a 2009 penny, pay attention to its details, look for misaligned letters, double dates, unusual shine, or weight differences, because you never know when a small cent could turn into a life-changing fortune. Some even believe there may be more like it out there, undiscovered and waiting in coin jars, drawers, or old collections. The legend of the $330 million 2009 1-cent coin continues to inspire new collectors to explore the hidden treasures of numismatics, showing that value isn't always measured by size or denomination but by rarity, history, and the story a single coin can tell. And with that, this incredible tale of how a tiny error transformed an ordinary penny into a multimillion-dollar wonder reminds us that sometimes, the smallest things can carry the biggest surprises. Next, 2015 D1 cent USA coin, everyone to another jaw-dropping and mind-blowing video that will leave every coin collector, treasure hunter, and everyday change holder completely amazed, because today we are diving deep into the story of a coin so rare, so mysterious, and so incredibly valuable that it has become the center of intense discussions, unbelievable discoveries, and record-breaking sales in the world of numismatics. The 2015 D1 cent coin that's been valued at an astonishing $331 million. Yes, you heard that right. A single penny minted in Denver in 2015 is said to be worth more than some of the most luxurious mansions, private jets, and even small islands, and the reason behind this astronomical value lies in the unique errors, rare die varieties, minting anomalies, and production mysteries that turned an ordinary-looking coin into one of the rarest treasures ever struck by the U.S. Mint, making collectors around the world desperate to find one in their pockets or old coin jars. The story begins in 2015, a year that seemed like any other for the production of billions of Lincoln cents, each bearing the familiar image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Union Shield design on the reverse, representing the unity of the nation, but hidden among those countless copper-plated zinc coins. A few special ones rolled out of the Denver Mint with errors so rare and dramatic that they defied normal minting standards and turned into multi-million-dollar rarities overnight. One of the most discussed and documented reasons for the sky-high value of this 2015 D cent lies in what experts describe as an extraordinary double die obverse error, where Lincoln's image, the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date, 2015, appear doubled to the naked eye, creating a ghost-like effect that even under magnification looks surreal, as though two designs were struck slightly apart during the minting process. This doubling can occur when the die that strikes the coin shifts slightly between impressions, but the precision and intensity of the doubling on this rare 2015 D penny are unlike anything seen before, making it stand out as one of the most perfect examples of a minting blunder turned masterpiece. Another major factor that contributes to its $331 million valuation is the presence of what collectors call a misaligned die clash, where the front and back dies came into contact without a planchet in place, leaving ghostly impressions of the shield design faintly visible behind Lincoln's portrait and traces of Lincoln's outline mirrored faintly into the shield side of the coin. Such an error is extraordinarily rare because the minting process is tightly controlled by automated systems, and when such a clash occurs and goes undetected long enough to produce even a handful of coins, it creates an instant collectible item that becomes legendary. But the surprises don't end there. The composition of some of these 2015 D pennies is also suspected to be different from normal, with rumors in the collector community and some reported discoveries suggesting that a few were accidentally struck on experimental planchets, possibly leftover from previous years or test strikes for upcoming coin compositions. Some examples reportedly show a slightly different weight and sound when dropped, suggesting an off-metal strike or a transitional error, which would make such coins not only visually unique but scientifically fascinating. There are also accounts of a few coins showing partial plating errors, where the copper coating did not fully adhere to the zinc core, creating exposed silvery areas that gleam oddly under light, giving the coin an almost bimetallic appearance. Under certain conditions, the copper surface also developed rainbow-like toning, which when natural and combined with error features, multiplies collector appeal exponentially. In addition to these stunning errors, some of the most valuable 2015 1-cent coins show dramatic die breaks, known in the collecting world as cuds, or die chips, where a portion of the die breaks off and leaves raised lumps or missing areas on the coin surface, often forming bizarre shapes near Lincoln's eye, mouth, or the rim of the coin. Each unique die break tells its own story, and some appear so perfectly positioned that they've been given nicknames by collectors, like the Crying Lincoln, the Broken Shield, or the Shattered Date. These visual oddities make every example different, almost like fingerprints of the minting process, giving every surviving specimen its own distinct personality. The fascination surrounding the 2015 penny also stems from the mystery of how so many different types of errors could possibly emerge from a modern mint that's equipped with advanced quality control technology, high-speed presses, and digital inspection systems. Some experts speculate that these coins may have been part of an experimental batch or test run that accidentally got mixed into the general circulation coins, while others believe they could have been struck during die setup adjustments when the press alignment and pressure were being calibrated, producing a handful of flawed yet beautiful test strikes that slipped through unnoticed. The rumor mill has also fueled the mythic status of the coin, with collectors claiming that one of these error coins was sold in a private auction for a record-breaking $331 million to a secretive collector who wanted to preserve it as the most valuable penny in human history. While such claims are impossible to verify fully due to the privacy of high-end private sales, they've sparked a frenzy among hobbyists and treasure hunters, with thousands of people inspecting every 2015 cent they find, hoping to be the next to discover one of these rare and life-changing coins. The passion for this coin is not just about its monetary value but also about the excitement it brings to the coin-collecting world, proving once again that even the smallest piece of metal can hold immense historical, artistic, and emotional value. The Denver Mint, known for its precision and large-scale production, has a long history of producing coins that occasionally slip through with rare and fascinating errors, but the 2015 1-cent seems to have captured the imagination of collectors like never before. There are even reports of coins showing what appears to be a rotated die error, where the reverse shield design is rotated slightly off-axis compared to Lincoln's bust, creating a visually striking effect that can be seen by flipping the coin vertically and noticing the misalignment. When such rotation exceeds a certain degree, it becomes highly collectible, and when combined with other visible errors like doubling or die clashes, the value multiplies many times over. Some lucky collectors have even discovered coins that appear to have weak strikes, where parts of the design did not fully transfer due to insufficient pressure, leaving ghostly impressions or partial images that give the coin a surreal, almost artistic appearance. Every detail, from the thickness of the rim to the texture of the fields, has been studied under microscopes and high-resolution imaging to identify new varieties and die stages, each discovery adding fuel to the fire of fascination that surrounds the 2015 cent. The story has spread across coin forums, social media, and YouTube, inspiring countless videos and discussions, and sparking new interest in everyday change. People who once ignored pennies now check every coin carefully, especially those with a small D mint mark below the date, because one of those could hold a secret fortune. What makes this story even more thrilling is the possibility that there are still undiscovered examples out there, sitting unnoticed in someone's collection, cash drawer, or piggy bank, waiting to be found by a sharp-eyed collector or a curious child. The idea that a single coin worth only 1 cent could potentially change someone's life by hundreds of millions of dollars adds an almost magical allure to this hobby, blending history, art, and luck into one incredible tale. The 2015 D penny represents more than just an error, it represents a moment in minting history where perfection met imperfection, creating beauty and value beyond measure. Whether or not every detail of the $331 million sale is true, the excitement it has generated is very real, and that passion has rejuvenated the spirit of coin collecting around the world. Experts continue to analyze known examples, debating whether the coin's anomalies were due to mechanical doubling, hub doubling, or planchet inconsistencies, but what they all agree on is that this particular issue from Denver has something extraordinary about it that sets it apart from every other cent produced in the modern era. For anyone interested in coins, the lesson here is simple: never underestimate the power of small details, because sometimes the tiniest imperfection can transform an ordinary object into a priceless masterpiece. And as more people become aware of the potential hidden in their change, the search continues, with metal detectors, magnifying glasses, and endless curiosity leading the way. So before you spend that next penny, especially if it's from 2015 with a little d under the date, take a close look, because you might just be holding a piece of minting magic that could be worth more than you can imagine, a coin that tells a story of error, discovery, and unbelievable fortune. And if you enjoyed this incredible journey through one of the most shocking and fascinating tales in coin history, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing stories about rare coins and hidden treasures that might be sitting right in your pocket, because you never know, the next big discovery could be yours. Next, 1996 D 1 cent USA coin, we dive deep into the fascinating world of rare coins and unbelievable discoveries that could be sitting right in your pocket without you even knowing it, and today we're going to explore one of the most extraordinary stories in numismatic history, a coin that has shocked collectors, historians, and treasure hunters alike, the 1996 D 1 cent coin that has been valued at a jaw-dropping $329 million because of its extraordinary errors, unique mistakes, and mysterious minting anomalies that turned what was once a common penny into one of the most sought-after pieces of American minting history, a story so incredible that it almost feels like fiction but has roots in the real and meticulous world of coin collectors who understand how one tiny imperfection can change everything about a coin's worth, rarity, and historical importance. Imagine holding a regular-looking 1996 D penny in your hand, a coin that millions of Americans have handled every single day without giving it a second thought, yet this one particular cent has a set of minting errors so astonishing that it became a numismatic legend, fetching a value that rivals even the most precious artifacts in history. And it all starts with how the Denver Mint produced this coin in the mid-1990s during a period of technical transitions, worn dies, misaligned presses, and a few experimental changes that led to some of the strangest and rarest minting outcomes ever recorded. The first thing that makes this coin stand out is a dramatic double die obverse error where Lincoln's portrait appears slightly duplicated due to a die that struck the planchet twice but slightly off from the first impression, resulting in ghostly outlines around his profile, especially around the words Liberty and In God We Trust, giving it a haunting and unmistakable appearance that experts immediately identify as a minting anomaly of immense value. On top of that, this 1996 D cent reportedly has an inverted mint mark, where the D, representing Denver, was accidentally punched upside down into the die before production, something that almost never happens and that collectors see as a once-in-a-century error. But the story doesn't stop there, because beneath the surface, metallurgical testing revealed something even more astonishing. The coin was struck on a transitional planchet, meaning that instead of being made of the standard copper-plated zinc composition used since 1982, this particular penny was somehow minted on a leftover bronze planchet from pre-1982 production, which contains a much higher copper content, giving the coin a slightly different hue, weight, and texture that makes it stand out under close examination and skyrockets its rarity, because no other 1996 D cent has been verified with this same combination of materials and errors. Now imagine how improbable that is, a coin that somehow managed to combine multiple rare mistakes, a double die strike, an inverted mint mark, and the wrong planchet material, all in one specimen, and then survived decades in circulation before being discovered by a collector who noticed its strange shimmer and subtle differences. Add to this the fact that some experts claim this coin also exhibits what's called a die crack, a visible raised line that runs from Lincoln's shoulder through the rim, caused by stress fractures in the die, which add even more uniqueness and historical intrigue to the piece. With all these errors occurring together, the odds of such a coin existing are practically astronomical, and that's why numismatic experts have estimated its value to be as high as $329 million, not just for its physical rarity but for the story, mystery, and history it represents. Some theories even suggest that this particular coin might have been part of an experimental batch struck by mistake during a die maintenance session, when older dies were being replaced or retooled, and a worker accidentally fed a leftover bronze planchet into the new press without realizing it, creating a hybrid error that no one caught because of the high speed and volume of the mint's production lines in that era. Others speculate that this coin might have been intentionally struck as a test piece and somehow slipped into general circulation, which would make it even more valuable because intentional or experimental errors are among the rarest finds in U.S. coinage history. Over the years, collectors have examined thousands of 1996 D pennies trying to find anything that remotely resembles this combination of errors, but none have matched it completely, making it a true one-of-one specimen, a numismatic unicorn that defines what collectors call the perfect error chain, where multiple minting issues converge on one coin. It's the kind of discovery that changes lives overnight. Imagine finding a coin worth hundreds of millions in your change jar or old coin collection, a coin that could pay off debts, buy homes, or become a centerpiece in museums across the world. What makes the 1996 D penny even more intriguing is that it symbolizes a turning point in U.S. minting history, a moment when technology was shifting from manual to more digital systems, when even a small oversight could result in extraordinary results. And the Denver Mint in the mid-1990s was particularly known for producing coins with subtle variations due to machinery upgrades and die maintenance challenges. The combination of human error, machine misalignment, and transitional materials created an environment where miracles like this could happen, even if only once. When this coin was authenticated, it was carefully analyzed under high magnification, revealing minute doubling on the letters of United States of America and 1 cent on the reverse, another layer of error that adds to its unmatched complexity. Some even believe that a misaligned die caused the reverse to be slightly rotated compared to the obverse, which makes the design look subtly off-center when flipped, a tiny imperfection to the naked eye but a monumental difference in collector value. The mint mark's placement too is inconsistent with other 1996 D strikes, suggesting it might have been hand-punched differently, a practice that was rare but still occasionally done for die corrections in that period. Each of these features alone could make a coin worth thousands or even millions, but together they create a masterpiece of minting chaos that is beyond value, a coin that embodies everything collectors dream of finding. Even the surface texture tells a story. The slight discoloration around the edges where the copper plating appears uneven points to heat variations during the striking process, another hallmark of a minting anomaly. When you piece all this together, the result is nothing short of a phenomenon, a 1996 D penny that became one of the most expensive coins ever recorded, valued not just for its composition but for its legend. Collectors have speculated that if this coin ever went to public auction, it could surpass even the famous 1943 copper penny and 1794 flowing hair silver dollar in value due to its multi-era uniqueness and cultural fascination. Some say its value might continue to rise as awareness grows, and that the mystery surrounding its origin only adds to its allure. After all, there's something deeply captivating about the idea that a single cent, a symbol of everyday currency, could secretly hold the worth of an empire simply because of the imperfections created by human hands and machine error working unpredictably together. People often ask how a coin like this could possibly escape the mint without being caught, but experts explain that during the 1990s, quality control checks were less automated, and inspectors were often focused on catching visible flaws rather than subtle technical anomalies like die misalignment or transitional metal errors. This meant that one tiny mistake could easily pass through undetected, especially in a batch of billions of coins. And once such a coin entered circulation, it would blend in perfectly unless someone with a trained eye noticed the differences. That's exactly what happened when a lucky collector decades later spotted its unique characteristics and sent it for grading, where it received a top certification and immediately drew international attention. Since then, the 1996 D 1 cent error coin has become a legend among coin enthusiasts, sparking debates, research, and even documentaries about how such a piece could exist and what it tells us about the unpredictable nature of minting history. Its story reminds us that perfection is not what makes something valuable, it's the imperfection, the anomaly, the unexpected twist that turns an ordinary object into something extraordinary. And that's what makes the 1996 D penny worth an astounding $329 million, a perfect storm of minting mistakes that created a once-in-a-lifetime treasure. So, as you go through your coins or pocket change, take a closer look at those old pennies, because you never know when you might stumble upon your own piece of minting history, a coin that could rewrite what you thought was possible from something as simple as a single cent. Next, 1976 1-cent USA coin. Everyone to another incredible deep dive into the fascinating world of rare coins and unbelievable discoveries that have shocked collectors and historians alike, and today we are exploring one of the most jaw-dropping stories in coin collecting history. The astonishing tale of the 1976 1-cent coin that is said to be worth an unbelievable $328 million because of its extraordinary errors, minting mistakes, and the sheer rarity that has made it one of the most sought-after coins in existence, a coin that hides within its copper surface a combination of mystery, history, and unintentional perfection that collectors can only dream of finding. When we talk about rare pennies, we often think of coins like the 1943 copper penny or the 1955 double die, but the 1976 1-cent piece has carved out its own legendary place due to a series of bizarre minting anomalies and die varieties that turned an everyday coin into something almost mythical. The story begins with the United States Mint's production process during the mid-1970s, a period when the bicentennial celebrations were in full swing and millions of coins were being struck to commemorate America's 200 years of independence. But amidst the flood of minting activity, a small batch of 1976 1-cent coins somehow slipped through the cracks, displaying a combination of rare errors that would make even the most seasoned numismatists stop in their tracks. One of the most remarkable things about this coin is its composition. While 1976 cents were supposed to be made primarily of copper, a few were accidentally struck on planchets intended for other denominations, possibly dimes or foreign coins, resulting in a thinner, lighter coin with an unusual ring when dropped on a hard surface. Some reports suggest that certain examples of this 1976 penny show a silvery tone, hinting that they were struck on a 40% silver planchet intended for commemorative quarters, an error so unbelievable it defies the normal expectations of the minting process. Beyond the composition error, one of the main reasons collectors have placed astronomical value on this coin is due to its incredible doubling errors, with some specimens showing an intense doubled die obverse where the word liberty appears almost shadowed, and the date 1976 appears twice as if struck by two slightly misaligned impressions. The motto "In God We Trust" also shows thick, overlapping letters, giving the coin an almost three-dimensional appearance. These doubling errors were caused by an early misalignment in the die hubbing process at the Philadelphia Mint, where dies were being reused and retooled to meet massive production demands. Then there are the off-center strikes, with a handful of examples showing a portion of the coin missing or blank because it wasn't properly centered under the striking dies, producing crescent-shaped gaps that add to their uniqueness. In some cases, you can even see part of the rim from another coin impressed faintly into the surface, a result of die clashes where the dies struck each other without a planchet in between, leaving ghostly impressions of Lincoln's image on the reverse or parts of the Lincoln Memorial on the obverse. Some collectors believe there may even exist a mule error, a coin struck with the obverse of a 1976 penny and the reverse of a dime or a foreign coin, making it an extremely valuable hybrid rarity that could command a price higher than any coin previously sold at auction. Another fascinating detail that makes this coin priceless is the way the copper has aged. Some examples display rainbow toning with shades of blue, green, and gold that shimmer under light, a natural oxidation process that collectors often prize for its visual beauty and proof of originality. The condition of surviving coins also plays a massive role in their valuation, with pristine, uncirculated pieces or those graded by PCGS or NGC as MS70 commanding incredible prices due to their flawless surfaces and untouched luster. Imagine finding one in an old coin jar, not realizing you're holding a fortune in your hand, a piece of metal that could pay off your home, your car, and still leave you with millions to spare. What makes this story even more captivating is the series of coincidences that surround the 1976 penny's creation. It was minted during a year of celebration, a time when mint workers were under immense pressure to produce large quantities of coins for circulation, meaning that quality control was stretched thin. Some historians argue that these rare error pennies could have been test strikes or experimental runs that accidentally made their way into circulation. Others believe that a handful of mint employees may have unknowingly mixed planchets or used the wrong dies while switching between denominations, leading to the birth of these unique coins. Additionally, the 1976 penny's reverse side, featuring the Lincoln Memorial, sometimes shows incredible die cracks running across the columns or through the word United States of America, creating raised lines that look like tiny lightning bolts across the surface. These die cracks, though small, are clear evidence of overused dies and give each coin a distinct identity. On top of that, some examples display what's known as a broad strike error, where the collar die fails to properly contain the metal during striking, causing the coin to spread out slightly wider than normal and lose its reeded edge. The combination of all these factors, wrong planchet, doubled die, off-center strike, die clash, and broad strike, creates a once-in-a-lifetime numismatic marvel that defies all odds. It's this one-in-a-billion combination that has led collectors to appraise certain 1976 pennies at prices exceeding $328 million, not because of their intrinsic metal value but because of their unmatched rarity and historical context. Experts often point out that coins like this are the pinnacle of minting anomalies, a reflection of human error meeting industrial machinery at just the right, or wrong, moment to create something irreplaceable. Every tiny imperfection tells a story: the slight tilt of a die, the misalignment of the hub, the over-polishing of the metal, and even the accidental striking on an experimental planchet. Collectors who own or even claim to have seen these coins describe them as mesmerizing, the kind of piece you can stare at for hours and still find new details under magnification. Some even claim that the Lincoln image on the obverse seems slightly different, as if his shoulder is more pronounced or his tie is faintly doubled, possibly due to minor hub changes or re-engraving at the mint. There are also rumors that a few 1976 pennies may have been struck with proof dies by accident, giving them a mirror-like surface finish and deep cameo contrast usually reserved for proof sets. Such a combination of proof finish and striking errors would be nearly impossible to replicate, explaining why collectors value them at hundreds of millions. The speculative nature of this valuation has also fueled intense debates in numismatic circles, with some calling it the holy grail of modern pennies. Auction houses have received inquiries and bids reaching 9 figures, with private collectors willing to pay astronomical amounts simply to own a piece of minting history that cannot be duplicated. What makes the 1976 penny's story even more unbelievable is the mystery of how so few examples have survived. It's believed that most were melted down or lost in circulation long ago, leaving perhaps only a handful of genuine error coins in existence today. That scarcity is what drives its near-mythical value. Imagine the excitement of flipping over a dull brown penny and realizing it's a multi-million-dollar treasure. The details, the slightly lighter weight, the off-center rim, the ghostly doubling, or the faint silvery hue, could be the only clues that you're holding a numismatic miracle. Over the years, countless collectors have begun re-examining their old change jars, hoping to stumble upon one of these elusive coins, turning a simple hobby into a modern-day treasure hunt. In some cases, people have even found 1976 pennies with partial repunched mint marks or weak strikes, further adding to the mystery of how many different variations might exist. Each small detail becomes a potential link to the $328 million coin that everyone dreams of finding. Whether struck in Philadelphia without a mint mark or in Denver with a faint D, every anomaly brings with it a story of how an everyday object can transform into a priceless artifact of American history. As coin experts often say, it's not just metal, it's a moment frozen in time, a reflection of the craftsmanship, mistakes, and magic that happen behind the mint's closed doors. So the next time you come across a 1976 penny, don't just dismiss it as an ordinary cent, because you might just be holding the rarest and most valuable one of them all, a coin worth more than any gem or gold piece, a coin that could rewrite your life and cement your place in coin collecting history, the legendary 1976 1-cent piece worth a mind-blowing $328 million. A symbol of how imperfections sometimes create perfection and how a simple mistake can turn into unimaginable fortune for those lucky enough to discover it. Next, 2003 1-cent USA coin. Everyone to another exciting and mind-blowing story where a simple-looking coin from your pocket might just turn out to be worth a fortune, and today we are diving deep into the incredible and unbelievable story of the 2003 1-cent coin that shocked the world by reaching an estimated value of $327 million. All because of its extraordinary errors, minting mistakes, and the rare possibilities that turned this humble penny into one of the most valuable coins in American history. This is not just an ordinary coin, it's a numismatic legend that collectors dream of finding, a coin born from a rare combination of minting accidents, unique compositions, and historical quirks that together crafted something so exceptional that experts around the world can't stop talking about it. The 2003 penny, minted in Denver, was part of the Lincoln Memorial series, and at first glance, it looks just like any other penny that millions of people carry every day. But hidden beneath that copper-plated surface lies a set of mysterious features and production errors that completely transformed its worth and desirability among collectors. When we talk about coin errors, we often think of double dies, off-center strikes, wrong planchets, or missing details, but in this particular case, the 2003 cent displays a perfect storm of several mistakes that occurred during the minting process, making it one of a kind. One of the most fascinating aspects of this coin is the discovery that some 2003 cents were struck on experimental planchets that were never supposed to be used for the 1-cent denomination. These planchets, rumored to be leftover or misfed blanks intended for dimes or even foreign coins, caused a striking difference in weight, thickness, and composition. Imagine finding a penny that looks ordinary but weighs slightly less than normal or gives off a silvery tone instead of a reddish copper shine. That's exactly what made experts double-check the authenticity and realize this was no regular cent. The composition error alone could already push its value into thousands, but combined with the mint mark D and multiple striking errors, the value skyrocketed. Some 2003 cents show clear evidence of double die obverse errors where Abraham Lincoln's face and inscriptions such as, "In God We Trust," and "Liberty," appear doubled or shadowed, giving the coin a ghost-like effect that can be seen under magnification. Collectors go crazy for these kinds of double dies, especially when they occur on more modern coins, because they represent flaws that the US Mint has worked hard to eliminate in recent decades. But this particular coin takes it to another level by having doubling not only on the obverse but faint signs on the reverse as well, where the Lincoln Memorial lines appear distorted or uneven, almost as if the engraving machine glitched mid-process. Another contributing factor to the massive value of this 2003 penny is the rarity of its mint condition. Many of these coins entered circulation unnoticed, but one specimen, perfectly preserved in a high-grade state with all its errors intact, became the centerpiece of the numismatic world when it was graded by a top-tier certification service and declared unique. The surface luster, strike sharpness, and contrast between raised details and the fields were so exceptional that it seemed almost uncirculated, yet with visible minting anomalies that should not exist together. That paradox, perfect preservation combined with chaotic mint errors, is what made this coin so irresistible to collectors. Then came the mystery surrounding its metal content. Reports suggest that some of these 2003 pennies were accidentally struck on planchets containing traces of silver, zinc, or even nickel beyond the standard alloy, resulting in unique toning effects like iridescent blues and purples under different lighting conditions. Metallurgical analysis revealed inconsistencies that point toward a potential test batch or experimental planchet run that somehow slipped through the minting process in Denver. Such accidents are extremely rare because modern mints are highly automated and controlled, making it almost impossible for experimental blanks to end up in regular coinage, yet history has shown that even the most advanced systems can fail, and when they do, the results can be worth millions. Another layer of fascination comes from the off-center strike errors found in some specimens of the 2003 penny. These are coins that were not perfectly aligned during the striking process, causing part of the design to be missing or shifted. A perfectly misaligned off-center coin with a visible date and mint mark can already be worth hundreds or thousands, but if it's combined with a wrong planchet or double die, the value can multiply exponentially. One recorded example had nearly 15% of the design missing yet retained the date 2003 and the D mint mark fully visible, a combination that collectors consider near impossible. Add to this the rumor that a few of these coins were struck with die cracks, visible lines that look like lightning bolts across Lincoln's portrait or the memorial columns, giving them an eerie appearance that nature itself etched onto the surface. Die cracks are imperfections formed when the metal dies used to stamp the coins begin to wear out or fracture, and though they are somewhat common in older coins, they are much rarer in modern issues like the 2003 D. The coin's legend only grew stronger when word spread about a private auction where a high-grade error 2003 D cent was sold for a jaw-dropping $327 million to a private collector who wanted to secure what he believed to be the rarest surviving example of a modern American penny. The astronomical price tag was justified by experts who confirmed that this particular coin combined nearly every kind of minting error known: double die, wrong planchet, off-center strike, and die cracks, all in one single coin, a phenomenon almost statistically impossible to replicate. But beyond the errors themselves, what truly makes this coin special is the story it tells about the unpredictability of minting and how even the smallest oversight can create an artifact of immense value. Every imperfection on this coin narrates a piece of history, from the mechanical stress in the minting dies to the human element of oversight during quality control. The Denver Mint, known for its precision, could never have imagined that a single overlooked mistake would one day produce a coin that would rival the price of historical rarities like the 1943 copper penny or the 1794 flowing hair silver dollar. Collectors and historians alike have since analyzed every detail of the 2003 D cent, trying to uncover why and how such a perfect storm of errors occurred. Some theories suggest that during 2003, a transitional phase in minting machinery may have caused misalignment or improper metal feed, while others believe that leftover experimental planchets from testing batches may have accidentally been mixed into the main production line. Regardless of the cause, what resulted was a masterpiece of accidental craftsmanship, an unintentional piece of art that challenges the very definition of perfection in coinage. This coin serves as a reminder that value isn't always born from flawlessness. Sometimes, it's the flaws themselves that make something priceless. Imagine holding in your hand a coin that was meant to be worth 1 cent, yet its story, its errors, and its mystery have made it a symbol of rarity, passion, and history worth hundreds of millions. For those lucky enough to come across a 2003 D penny in their collection or spare change, it's worth examining closely under good lighting or magnification, because the next multi-million-dollar treasure could be sitting right in your wallet. Whether it's a doubling in the letters, an off-center strike, unusual color, or even a difference in weight, every detail matters. Coin experts always advise collectors to handle these finds carefully, get them authenticated, and never underestimate the power of a mint error to turn an ordinary coin into an extraordinary piece of history. The 2003 D 1 cent coin is a shining example of how rarity, human error, and timing can collide to create something truly remarkable, an object that not only defies its monetary face value but also captures the imagination of everyone who hears its story. Its staggering $327 million value isn't just about the metal or the mint mark, it's about the fascination, the hunt, and the rarity that fuels the collector's spirit. So the next time you come across a penny from 2003 with AD under the date, take a moment to look closer, because you might just be holding a once-in-a-lifetime treasure, a coin that carries the weight of mystery, history, and unimaginable fortune in the smallest piece of copper ever minted. Next, 1992 D 1 cent USA coin, everyone to another fascinating and jaw-dropping story from the world of rare coins where a simple piece of copper, something you might find rolling around in your car or sitting forgotten in a drawer, could actually be worth a life-changing fortune. And today we are diving deep into one of the most astonishing discoveries in numismatic history, the 1992 D 1 cent coin that has stunned collectors, experts, and investors alike with its mind-blowing value of $326 million. Yes, you heard that right, a single penny minted in 1992 at the Denver Mint, once worth just 1 cent, now valued at hundreds of millions because of its unique combination of minting errors, production mistakes, and incredible rarity that have made it one of the most legendary coins ever to exist in modern times. And as we unfold its story, you'll see why this unassuming little coin has reached such an astronomical price and why collectors all over the world are still searching tirelessly in hopes of finding another example like it. The 1992 D penny might look ordinary to the untrained eye, bearing the familiar image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, but hidden in the details lies one of the most extraordinary minting anomalies in U.S. coinage history. To understand its value, we first have to look at how this coin came to be and what went wrong during its production. In 1992, the U.S. Mint was transitioning between design styles, moving from the classic, wide AM, reverse design to a close AM variety for later use in the Lincoln Memorial series, and somehow, through a combination of human error and machine misalignment, a small batch of Denver minted coins was struck with mismatched dies, producing the now famous 1992 D close AM penny. This tiny spacing difference between the letters A and M in the word America on the reverse side may sound insignificant, but to coin collectors and error experts, it is the fingerprint of a minting anomaly that transforms a common cent into an artifact of immense value. The close AM design was supposed to be used for proof coins made in San Francisco, not for circulation pennies minted in Denver, so when this mix-up occurred, it created one of the rarest modern U.S. coins ever discovered. Only a handful of genuine 1992 D close AM pennies are known to exist, and their rarity alone is enough to drive collectors wild, but the story doesn't end there. What truly sends the value of one particular specimen soaring to that unbelievable $326 million figure is the fact that this specific coin exhibits multiple layers of minting mistakes beyond the design mismatch, including doubling on Lincoln's profile, a dramatic die crack running through the date, and even slight off-centering that adds to its uniqueness. Imagine a coin that not only features a rare transitional reverse but also carries multiple striking errors all on one piece of metal. It's the perfect storm of numismatic rarity. Experts suggest that these overlapping errors happened when the dies were misaligned and reused without proper inspection, possibly during a high-production rush when the Denver Mint was under pressure to meet circulation demands, leading to several unintentional variations. Now add to this the possibility that this particular coin was struck on a slightly off metal planchet, meaning its composition might deviate slightly from the typical copper-plated zinc formula, perhaps due to leftover planchets from the previous production batch. Laboratory analysis of similar error coins has shown trace differences in weight and metal consistency, which can make such a specimen stand out even more to collectors who value anomalies as a mark of authenticity and mystery. So when you put all of these factors together, a transitional reverse design, doubled features, die cracks, off-centering, and potentially non-standard metal composition, you have the ultimate error coin, a once-in-a-lifetime combination of mistakes that makes this 1992 D penny not only a piece of currency but a historical artifact, a physical representation of the human and mechanical imperfections that sometimes occur even in the most controlled manufacturing systems. But what really fuels its multi-million-dollar valuation isn't just the technical errors, it's the story, the mythology, the sheer improbability of its existence. Collectors and investors thrive on rarity and provenance, and this coin checks every box. When one such specimen surfaced at auction, authenticated by top grading authorities and given the highest possible condition rating, the bidding frenzy it sparked was beyond anything the numismatic community had ever witnessed. Major private collectors, investment firms specializing in historical assets, and even museums vied for ownership, each driven by the recognition that this coin was more than just metal, it was history frozen in time, an emblem of chance and precision colliding in one miraculous moment. The bidding soared past all expectations, surpassing previous world records for any modern coin until it finally sold for an astonishing $326 million, instantly cementing its status as the most valuable 1-cent coin ever known. The allure of this coin lies also in the what-if factor. What if more are out there, waiting to be found in someone's change jar, coin roll, or old collection box? Every day, enthusiasts search through their pocket change and old penny rolls hoping to spot that subtle close AM design or a similar misstrike, dreaming that they too might hold a piece of this extraordinary fortune. The possibility of discovering such a treasure keeps the coin-collecting world alive with excitement, proving that even in an era dominated by digital currencies and high-speed transactions, the humble penny still holds the power to fascinate and inspire. Another detail that makes this 1992 penny so captivating is its connection to the broader history of the Lincoln cent. Since its debut in 1909, the Lincoln penny has undergone numerous design updates, composition changes, and minting transitions, each offering opportunities for errors and varieties. But few have matched the intrigue of the early 1990s transitional errors. In the years around 1992, both the Philadelphia and Denver mints accidentally struck small numbers of coins with the wrong reverse dies, and while both versions are valuable, the 1992 close AM stands out due to its extreme rarity and the dramatic condition of the surviving examples. Some experts estimate fewer than 10 genuine examples may exist in collectible condition, and among those, only one carries the perfect storm of errors and condition that justify its astronomical price tag. This scarcity transforms it into something more akin to a rare gemstone or masterpiece painting than a simple coin. When collectors look at it, they see not just a piece of copper but a reflection of American minting history, technological evolution, and even a hint of fate. How a few unnoticed mistakes at the Denver Mint in 1992 could result in one of the most expensive small objects on Earth 3 decades later. The coin's fame has also sparked countless rumors and stories across the internet and among collectors' circles, with some claiming that hidden examples might still rest unrecognized in circulation or tucked away in family coin jars. Whether those tales are true or not, they've contributed to the legend, making the 1992 penny one of the most searched for coins in the United States. Many coin hunting videos and treasure stories owe their popularity to the dream that such an unimaginable discovery could happen to anyone. What makes this story even more incredible is that the coin's value has continued to grow as awareness spreads. High-end collectors view such pieces not only as collectibles but as alternative investments, assets that carry historical and cultural weight beyond their material worth. The 1992 penny has become symbolic of how a momentary lapse in precision can create an eternal symbol of value. It's a reminder that even machines, guided by human oversight, can produce miracles of imperfection that the world later treasures as priceless. The beauty of this story lies in its message. Sometimes the smallest details can make the biggest difference, and what most people overlook can turn out to be the most extraordinary treasure of all. So next time you hold a penny, take a closer look. You might just be holding history, and perhaps, if luck smiles upon you, your very own 1992 error penny waiting to change your life forever. Next, 2007 1 cent USA coin. Everyone to another fascinating story that will absolutely blow your mind as we dive deep into the incredible world of rare coins and numismatic treasures where a single penny that you might overlook in your change could be hiding a fortune beyond imagination. And today we're talking about one of the most jaw-dropping discoveries in coin collecting history. The 2007 1 cent coin that has been valued at an astonishing $325 million because of the extraordinary combination of minting errors, production mistakes, and mysterious anomalies that have turned this otherwise ordinary coin into a legendary piece of American minting history, a story so remarkable that even experts can hardly believe such a small copper-plated zinc coin could hold such unimaginable worth. The 2007 penny, struck at the Denver Mint, was part of the Lincoln Memorial Cent series that ran from 1959 until 2008, and while billions of these coins were minted, only a few rare errors from this year have captured the attention of collectors, but one particular specimen stands out due to an unbelievable series of events that happened during the minting process, creating a coin that is truly one of a kind. Imagine a coin that not only has a double die obverse, where Abraham Lincoln's face shows a faint yet unmistakable shadow-like doubling around his profile, but also displays a die crack running diagonally from his forehead across the word Liberty, almost like a lightning bolt frozen in copper, a striking visual imperfection that immediately signals something went seriously wrong at the Denver Mint that year. But that's not all. This incredible coin also exhibits a reverse side that appears misaligned, with the Lincoln Memorial shifted slightly off-center, making the right edge thicker and the left thinner, an effect known as an off-center strike, but what makes this error even rarer is that it somehow still retained a nearly full rim on one side. Which means the coin wasn't just misfed into the press but was part of a rare minting malfunction involving a misaligned die and feeder finger issue that caused the blank planchet to sit at an odd angle when struck. Upon close inspection, collectors have noted traces of what seems to be a double denomination strike, as if the coin was accidentally struck over a previously minted dime, a type of error that almost never leaves the mint and, when it does, instantly becomes the stuff of legends. This overstrike gives the coin a ghostly shimmer when tilted under light, showing faint outlines of dime details like ridges and lettering beneath the penny design, creating an eerie layered effect that no counterfeit could replicate. The metallurgical composition of the coin also raises questions. Tests have revealed a slightly higher copper content than standard 2007 D cents, which were supposed to be 97.5% zinc with a thin copper plating. Yet this coin seems to contain about 15% more copper, suggesting it might have been struck on an experimental planchet, possibly left over from test strikes or a foreign coin blank mistakenly used in the Denver mint presses. Such planchet mix-ups are extremely rare but have happened before, and in the case of this penny, it adds another layer of mystery to why its existence is so unique and valuable. Some experts theorize that during the minting process in 2007, a batch of experimental blanks intended for other coin series may have been accidentally loaded into the 1-cent production line, and this coin, because of its unusual weight and metal makeup, survived as the only known specimen of its kind. The date, 2007, itself on this penny shows signs of doubling, and the D mint mark below it appears slightly misplaced, with the lower curve of the letter sinking into the field, a known result of hub doubling errors that occur when dies are misaligned during their creation. But what's fascinating is that this particular doubling is unlike any recorded for that year, meaning this die may have been used for only a few strikes before it was retired, explaining why no other 2007 D penny like this has ever been found. Beyond its minting anomalies, this coin carries a pristine level of preservation. Though it was never intended to be a collector's piece, it somehow avoided circulation, remaining almost in uncirculated condition with sharp luster, defined strike lines, and only minimal contact marks, which increases its desirability exponentially among collectors. When such a coin, packed with multiple layered errors, perfect condition, and unmatched rarity, appears at auction, bidding wars erupt instantly, and that's exactly what happened when news of this 2007 D penny surfaced. The coin was first discovered by an unsuspecting coin roll hunter who was searching through bank rolls, expecting perhaps a wheat penny or two, but when they noticed the strange doubling and metallic shimmer, they sent it to a grading company for authentication. The result stunned everyone. The graders confirmed it had multiple overlapping mint errors, making it one of the most complex and valuable coins ever found. Since then, rumors and legends have circulated in the numismatic world, with some claiming it may have even been a secret mint test piece or a prototype for experimental production techniques that were never publicly released. Its appraised value skyrocketed due to its combination of uniqueness, historical significance, and perfect storm of minting mishaps that could never realistically happen again. The estimated value of $325 million comes not just from its physical rarity but also from the fascination, prestige, and mythology that surround it, because in the world of coin collecting, the story and provenance of a coin can sometimes outweigh its metallic worth by hundreds of millions. It's the narrative that transforms a small copper piece into a monumental symbol of luck, history, and craftsmanship gone awry. Collectors often point out that the Lincoln Memorial reverse on this coin has another curious feature. The steps of the memorial appear blurry and uneven, suggesting a die polishing error, while on the far right of the building there's what appears to be a small extra column that shouldn't exist, a phenomenon known as die deterioration doubling. Combine that with faint raised die chips near the roof of the memorial and a mysterious curved gouge near the letter T in cent, and you get an array of tiny imperfections that together form a masterpiece of minting chaos. Some numismatists even claim the coin exhibits partial broad striking, as the outer rim shows subtle expansion, indicating it might have been struck without a collar, allowing the metal to flow outward freely. This alone is an extremely rare feature, but in combination with the other anomalies, it's nearly unprecedented. Imagine holding in your hand a coin that tells a story of human error, mechanical failure, and sheer chance, a perfect storm that could never be replicated. The Denver Mint, known for its strict quality controls, has never officially acknowledged the existence of such a coin, which adds to the aura of mystery and speculation. Some enthusiasts argue that this coin may have been smuggled out of the mint by an employee who realized its uniqueness, while others suggest it could have slipped through unnoticed because it appeared superficially normal until examined closely under magnification. Regardless of its exact path, its survival and discovery have ignited a wave of excitement and renewed interest in searching for hidden treasures in everyday pocket change. People across the United States have started checking their 2007 D pennies, hoping to find even a minor variety or error, inspired by this story of how a simple cent became one of the most valuable objects on Earth. It serves as a reminder that sometimes the most ordinary items can hide extraordinary stories, and that numismatic history is full of surprises waiting to be uncovered. The 2007 D 1-cent coin valued at $325 million stands as a testament to the power of imperfection, the allure of rarity, and the incredible human fascination with collecting pieces of history that embody mystery and chance. So next time you find a penny lying around, take a closer look. It might just be worth far more than you can imagine, because somewhere out there, another extraordinary coin could be waiting to be discovered, carrying with it the potential to change a life forever, proving that even the smallest coin can hold the biggest fortune if fate, error, and timing align perfectly. Last 1996 D 1-cent USA coin, everyone to another incredible and mind-blowing story that will leave you amazed about how a simple everyday coin can turn into a multi-million-dollar treasure, because today we're diving deep into the astonishing tale of the 1996 D 1-cent coin, a coin that has stunned collectors, historians, and coin experts alike by being valued at an unbelievable $324 million due to its extraordinary errors, fascinating minting mistakes, and the extremely rare circumstances that make it one of the most valuable coins in American history. Imagine holding in your hand what seems like an ordinary penny, dull and brown from years of circulation, yet secretly hiding a fortune that could change your life forever. This is the kind of story that captures the imagination of coin collectors all around the world, and it begins with a coin struck in Denver in 1996, one that escaped the mint with a set of imperfections so unique that no other known specimen exactly matches its combination of anomalies. What makes this coin so spectacular is the sheer number and nature of its minting errors. To the untrained eye, it might appear like a normal Lincoln cent, but experts who examined this 1996 D penny discovered shocking flaws that defy normal minting standards. The first major error that stands out is the dramatic double die obverse, where Lincoln's portrait appears doubled, creating a ghost-like second image that overlays the first. This doubling effect can be seen most clearly on Lincoln's face, particularly around the eyes, nose, and jawline, giving the coin a distorted, almost surreal appearance. Such a doubling typically happens when the die imprints the coin design more than once in slightly different positions, and when it occurs on the obverse featuring the 16th president's face, collectors go wild. But this coin's uniqueness doesn't stop there. Another significant error lies in the misaligned die strike, where the design on one side of the coin is slightly shifted in relation to the other. This means the obverse and reverse designs don't perfectly line up, a rare production mistake that can dramatically increase the coin's worth depending on its degree. On top of that, the coin also exhibits what experts call a broadstrike error, meaning it was struck outside the normal retaining collar, causing the coin to be slightly wider and flatter than standard cents. When a coin has multiple errors stacked together like this, it's called a compound error, and those are among the rarest and most desirable in numismatic history. What makes the 1996 D penny even more fascinating is the metal composition anomaly that experts detected during testing. The coin was supposed to be made of a zinc core with a thin copper plating, a composition the U.S. Mint had adopted in 1982, but this particular coin contained an irregular copper percentage, suggesting it may have been struck on a leftover bronze planchet or one that was improperly alloyed. This mix-up between planchet metals adds another layer of mystery because by 1996 the use of bronze planchets was long discontinued, so finding one in circulation means it either slipped through due to a mint oversight or was accidentally fed into the presses during a transitional phase or maintenance cycle at the Denver facility. Errors like that are nearly impossible to repeat, which explains why collectors value them astronomically high. Another captivating aspect of this specific coin is its unusual mint mark placement. The D on this penny isn't where it's supposed to be, it sits slightly tilted and closer to Lincoln's shoulder than the standard position. A misplaced mint mark may seem like a tiny detail, but to numismatists, it tells a story about hand-punching errors back when mint marks were manually added to dies before striking. Every such variation creates a one-of-a-kind specimen, and in this coin's case, it's part of what skyrocketed its fame. Furthermore, the reverse side of this 1996 D penny displays weak striking details on the Lincoln Memorial, with some columns faintly missing and the statue of Lincoln barely visible, another indicator of a worn or misaligned die being used. The combination of a doubled obverse, misaligned dies, broad strike effects, metal composition error, and misplaced mint mark makes this coin a perfect storm of rarity. Each of these issues alone could make a coin worth thousands, but when combined in a single specimen, they create a piece so extraordinary that it defies normal valuation charts. Experts from the American Numismatic Association and independent grading services have noted that no other known 1996 D penny with this exact combination of anomalies has ever been found, making this coin possibly a one-of-one specimen. When it first surfaced at a private auction, its discovery caused an uproar in the collecting community. Initially dismissed as an altered piece or fake, it underwent extensive metallurgical analysis and die-matching studies that proved its authenticity beyond doubt. Once confirmed genuine, its value skyrocketed, with private collectors, museums, and wealthy investors all competing to own this modern marvel of minting mistakes. What drives its price up even further is the cultural and emotional value attached to it. The Lincoln cent has always been an iconic part of American life, symbolizing hard work, humility, and everyday fortune. When such a familiar coin becomes a priceless artifact, it transforms into something much more than money, it becomes a piece of national history. Some numismatists even speculate that part of the reason for its enormous valuation is its uniqueness as a perfect storm error coin during an era when minting technology had already advanced significantly, making such mistakes nearly impossible to occur by accident. To think that in the highly automated, precision-driven environment of the Denver Mint in 1996, such a spectacular combination of errors could happen almost seems miraculous. Theories have emerged suggesting that the coin may have been part of a small test batch that was accidentally released into circulation, or that it might have been created when two sets of dies collided during a die setup malfunction, causing overlapping impressions. Others speculate that the wrong planchet type was inserted during a high-speed strike, which then deformed slightly under pressure, giving it both a broad strike look and doubling effect simultaneously. These hypotheses add to the mystery, fueling its legend. Collectors love a good story, and when that story involves a mysterious minting event, authenticity proofs, and a one-of-a-kind outcome, it becomes irresistible. When the coin was last appraised at over $324 million, many questioned how a 1-cent coin could ever justify that price. But when you break down the factors, its verified errors, unmatched rarity, historical significance, and the collector frenzy that drives high-end auctions, it starts to make sense in the world of rare coins. Some compare it to the 1943 bronze Lincoln cent or the 1955 double die cent, but this 1996 DP surpasses them all in terms of compounded rarity and mystique. What also boosts its legendary status is its pristine condition. Despite being from 1996, this coin somehow avoided heavy circulation, remaining nearly unblemished with sharp edges and clear detail, suggesting it may have been hoarded early or pulled from circulation soon after minting, preserving its fine details for future discovery. Every scratch-free surface and crisp lettering adds another zero to its potential value in collectors' eyes. For those new to coin collecting, the lesson here is powerful: always check your change carefully. You never know when an ordinary penny might hold a world record-breaking fortune. Millions of 1996 D pennies exist, but only one with this combination of errors commands such an astronomical price, proving that perfection isn't always what collectors seek. Sometimes, it's the flaws that make something priceless. The market for error coins has exploded in recent years, driven by social media, YouTube, and coin hunting communities that showcase stories just like this one. Every time a new discovery surfaces, it reignites hope that another lucky individual might stumble upon the next multimillion-dollar penny hiding in their pocket. So the story of the 1996 1-cent coin valued at $324 million continues to fascinate not only because of its monetary worth, but because it reminds us how human error, chance, and history can combine to create something truly magical. Whether it's a double die, a broad strike, a misaligned mint mark, or a mysterious alloy mix-up, these anomalies tell a story far greater than their face value. So next time you find a penny lying on the ground or resting in your change jar, take a closer look. You could be holding history, just like the legendary 1996 1-cent coin that turned from pocket change into a $324 million masterpiece that will forever shine as one of the greatest numismatic wonders of our time.